Forget the tales of a shark the size of a submarine. Forget the movie monsters that swallow ships whole. The truth of the Megalodon is far more fascinating and far more real. For millions of years, this creature was not a myth. It was the undisputed ruler of the Earth's oceans, a presence of unimaginable power, a hunter at the absolute peak of the food chain. Its reign was longer than that of our own species. Yet, it vanished, leaving behind a profound and tantalizing question. Just how colossal was this ghost in the water? The story of the Megalodon begins, and in many ways, ends with its teeth. These are the most abundant and often the only fossils we find. Unlike the soft cartilage that formed its skeleton, teeth are made of dentin and enamel. These materials are incredibly durable. They fossilize beautifully, preserving a perfect record of their size and shape. Each tooth is a masterpiece of natural engineering, broad and triangular, with a thick, robust root. The edges are finely serrated like a saw. This was not a tooth for simply piercing. It was a tooth for shearing through flesh, cartilage, even bone, a tool of utter devastation. Scientists have unearthed thousands upon thousands of these teeth, dredged from the dark seafloor and in ancient coastal rock formations, found on every continent except Antarctica. Each one is a letter from a lost time, a story of life and death on a nearly incomprehensible scale. So, how do scientists take a single tooth and estimate the size of a creature that has been extinct for 3 million years? The process is a fascinating piece of scientific detective work. It begins with the Megalodon's closest living relatives, modern sharks, specifically the great white shark. By studying the relationship between tooth size and total body length of great whites, scientists developed mathematical formulas. A tooth of a certain height, from a specific jaw position, corresponds to a predictable shark length. Applying these formulas to the largest megalodon teeth yields astonishing results. Conservative estimates place the average adult at around 10 to 15 meters, about 3 times a large great white. The very largest individuals may have reached up to 20 meters, longer than a city bus. A creature this size may have weighed 50 to 60 tons, perhaps even more. Associated vertebrae allow another method. Measure the largest centra compared to modern columns. Build an independent size model. These methods converge, giving confidence that a 15 to 20 meter supershark is largely accurate. It was not a mythic sea serpent, but a real animal of monumental proportions, a dark, powerful shape, a living mountain of muscle and teeth that ruled its domain with absolute authority. To truly grasp the scale of the Megalodon, we must compare it to the apex predator of our modern seas, the great white shark. A large female great white can reach over 6 meters in length and weigh more than 2 tons. A formidable hunter. But placed next to a fully grown Megalodon, even this magnificent creature would be dwarfed, more than twice as long and potentially 30 times heavier. A leap as great as that between a wolf and a polar bear. The differences were not just in size. Their hunting strategies were worlds apart. Great whites rely on surprise ambush strikes from below. The Megalodon hunted prey many times larger, likely medium-sized baleen whales of the Miocene and Pliocene, whale-sized like modern humpbacks. To tackle such prey, it needed more than a single bite, brute force, crushing, disabling attacks. Reconstructions suggest a gape nearly 3 meters wide. A human could stand upright inside. Among the most powerful bites in Earth's history, far exceeding Tyrannosaurus rex, a bite to crush bone, shatter ribs, sever tails. This difference in scale and power highlights the Megalodon's unique place in history, an apex predator in an ocean of giants. The world the Megalodon inhabited was very different from the one we know today. During the Miocene, the planet was significantly warmer. No polar ice caps as we know them, sea levels much higher. Vast, shallow, sunlit seas spread across places now dry land, perfect nurseries for marine life. This ancient ocean was the Megalodon's kingdom, a global, teeming banquet. It was a cosmopolitan species, tropical waters, temperate waters, all around the globe. Fossilized teeth span the Americas, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, a vast range, a highly adaptable, successful animal. Coastal and shelf waters were rich in its primary food sources, marine mammals. It shared its ocean with incredible creatures, including early sperm whales like Leviathan, both competition and potential prey. Slow-swimming, medium-sized baleen whales provided high-fat blubber to fuel a massive body. Evidence from Panama, Florida, Spain shows clusters of very small teeth, nurseries. Pregnant females likely sought warm, shallow habitats where young could grow safely before venturing into the open ocean. A creature the size of a megalodon had a colossal appetite. Sustaining over 50 tons demands enormous daily calories. Estimates suggest more than a ton of food per day, the equivalent of a dozen adult humans. This voracious engine shaped its behavior, a relentless search for high-energy blubber. Fossils show vertebrae gouges, skull punctures, and flippers or tails sheared clean off. Rather than an instant kill, it likely immobilized prey first, crippling the tail or flippers to prevent escape. With prey crippled and bleeding, it could deliver fatal bites to the soft underbelly or chest, minimizing its own risk. The sheer power of its jaws was key, the ability to crunch through dense bone unlike any predator alive today. A jaw spanning nearly 3 meters and filled with more than 270 serrated teeth. Computer models estimate a bite force up to 180,000 newtons, compared to about 1,300 for a human and around 18,000 for a great white. This phenomenal power let it dismantle prey entirely. The most powerful bite of any known animal, the ultimate hypercarnivore. For over 20 million years, the megalodon was an unparalleled success story. So why did it disappear? Its extinction was not sudden. It was a long, slow decline. Around 3 million years ago, the planet cooled. Ice caps formed, sea levels fell dramatically. Warm, shallow seas shrank. Nurseries and feeding grounds disappeared. Primary prey adapted or went extinct. Many moved toward cold regions likely too frigid for Megalodon. As prey dwindled, competition intensified. New, adaptable predators, including ancestors of great whites and orcas, surged. The final blow may have been the loss of warm nurseries. Without safe grounds, juveniles faced predation and starvation. Climate change, disappearing food, competition, and lost nurseries. A perfect storm. The titans slowly starved into extinction around 3.6 million years ago. Despite overwhelming evidence for extinction, the idea of surviving megalodons persists. It is a captivating story. Giants hiding in the abyss, but it crumbles under scrutiny. The deep sea is cold, dark, food poor, and under crushing pressure. Megalodon likely had elevated metabolism and colossal caloric needs. High-energy predators cannot survive in that environment. We would see surfacing prey, fresh giant bite marks, or modern teeth. After a century of exploration, nothing credible. The megalodon is gone. Its story is a lesson in extinction, yet its legacy endures in fossils and in our awe. As we face the blue expanse, we still feel its echo, a silent, powerful presence. This specimen is a prime example of a megalodon tooth, its serrations remarkably intact and well preserved. At microscopic scale, the enamel prism and serration edges reveal wear patterns and feeding behavior. Our collection holds dozens of matching teeth, cataloged from sites around the world for comparison. The reconstructed jaw, about 3 meters across, helps visualize the sheer scale of this predator's bite. Imagine standing inside that 3-meter gape, an unsettling sense of scale.
This tooth sat undisturbed for millions of years. The surrounding matrix suggests a Pliocene context.
Mapped globally, megalodon occurrences cluster in warm, shallow seas, patterns tied to higher ancient sea levels.